Don't forget to like, follow, subscribe, and turn on notifications so that you will receive alerts when there are new episodes. Go get it.
I've been grinding for so long, I wake up and chase my goals. I go out and I go get it. How to code, that's all I know. I don't succeed, then I don't breathe. Success, what does it mean? If I conquer all my goals, then I'm living out my dream. Dig deep, go out and get it. Success Chronicles, compete until it's finished. Success Chronicles, go take care of your business. Success Chronicles, it's deeper than just winning. Success Chronicles.
Hey, what's up, everybody? This is Chip Baker coming to you with the Hangout and Highlight session. And today we're here with my good friend, Rachel Baribeau. Great lady doing some really neat things to change the narrative. And I wanted to get her on today just to hang out with her and highlight her because she has some great things going on. And so wholeheartedly believe in what she does, support her. And so just want to give you opportunity to just talk about, who you are and what you do. So, my audience can go check you out and show you some love.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah.
So I was a 17-year sportscaster, Chip, and was never, I had dreams and goals and hopes for sure, but I never set out to break barriers. That wasn't what I was trying to do. I wasn't trying to be historic in any manner, but I ended up doing a lot of amazing things, historical wise, and breaking barriers. I was the first female sportscaster to ever fully participate in a professional football training camp. So it was an indoor arena team. And so I did that and then became the first female host on SiriusXM, the first host of the college football playoff, and a Heisman voter. And I did that for 17 years and I absolutely loved it. But about 4 years ago in 2016, now 5, I saw a problem in college athletics, particularly. It happened to start in football, but then it spread out to all of college, and then now it's spread out to law enforcement and prisons and like crazy stuff. God is just taking this movement and blowing it up. But I saw a problem, and it was particularly the idea or this kind of, hey, if it bleeds, it leads, and you only get the headlines if you're doing something bad. And then people would start to come around me and say, oh, football players aren't nothing but a bunch of blank, fill in the blank. And it really made me mad, Chip, because I knew that there were great men coaching and playing, and we were painting with a broad brush. People were stereotyping, and that's very dangerous. And so I said, what if I was audacious enough to believe that I could affect change and go in there and teach young men, and it started with young men, and now I speak to queens as well, kings and queens, and teach them, hey, you can trend for something positive. You can change a narrative. What's your legacy? What's your purpose? What were you created for? Because, baby, if you were only created to play football or basketball or run track and die, and that's it, and that's what a shame it would be, right? And so that's how it started, and then it became purpose, passion, platform, mental health, self-care, interpersonal relationships, being a king or queen every day of your life. And as I mentioned, now it's spread out into law enforcement, corporations, churches, really all ages, because the CEO or the father that is providing for the family that thinks, gosh, there's something more I'm missing. What am I missing? Or the stay-at-home mom or whoever it is, right? We all as human beings struggle with the same questions of our soul and our mortality and our legacy and living life in such a way that every single day is a miracle. And so that's what I'm all about. I was a sportscaster, now turned motivational speaker like you. I see you out there doing your thing. You know how to promote. You know how to motivate. You know how to lift people up. I'm like, Chip Baker, teach me your ways, Chip Baker. Teach me your ways.
I love it. Man, that is good stuff. Love the passion by which you love and show love to others and where it comes from, faith-based, good-hearted, just good stuff, and I think it uplifts and makes a huge positive difference in our world. And you're dropping something pretty soon, right?
I am. And thank you. Listen, I was just telling somebody on the phone that if 2020 it taught me a lot of things. And that's what I've been telling people. If you lose a lesson of what you learned in 2020, then going into 2021 and now in 2021, then you've kind of failed the test. Don't lose what you learned about yourself, about others. What I learned is I've always known that people are my currency, and because of that, I'm a billionaire. But Chip, I learned how much I need people, like desperately need people, the human connection. Because I was quarantined pretty much by myself for the first 4 months. My fiance was in Florida, I was in Tennessee. And so I really realized how much I needed that. And for a couple of years, I've gotten messages from people saying, I want to attend one of your talks. I want to know what you're teaching. I want to know what you're teaching Oregon and Buffalo and Alabama and Auburn and Texas A&M. What are you teaching them? Teach me. And I've never made them public. I just think, and you as a sports guy and as an educator yourself, I've always just said what happened on those meeting room floors is sacred and it's special and it's private. Never put it out there, ever.
Yeah.
And, but the quarantine changed me in the sense of God told me, I'm going to try not to get choked up, make it accessible for everybody, Rachel. And people are hurting. People need hope. They need peace. They need joy. They need purpose. They need to figure out what sets their soul on fire and run towards it with everything they got. And so it's been in my head for a while, as I mentioned, but I started creating this e-course. And I said, I want it to be for everybody. And here's the beautiful part of it, Chip. There's two takeaways for your people here. The beautiful part of it is I had a lot of people come to me and experts, and they say, okay, price your course at $1,997. And I'm thinking, we just went through a national pandemic. Like, is it, I know people, and then there's the old adage with people in network marketing, they say, well, if somebody wants it, they'll find it. I don't want somebody to max out a credit card to get my teaching. I don't. Okay. And so God really said to me, Rachel, make it affordable. Make it affordable. And so I priced the whole thing for 5 weeks at $47. And I just said, you know what? God has blessed me so greatly, not with monetary things, but with love and peace and joy and purpose. And that something like you, I get to walk this out and do this every day of my life. I want other people to feel the same way. And at the end of the day, when I go to heaven, when you go to heaven, I want God to say, and I believe you will, well done, my good and faithful servant, right? And it's not about the money. So that was the first thing. The second thing that happened is, and this is where I really want your people to take a note, man. Don't be afraid to pivot. Don't be afraid to change course at the last minute. I don't care. Well, they said, well, you got to do it this way. Well, this way it's been done before. I don't care, right? Like, leaders are not afraid to pivot. This past week, as I'm getting the member area set up, and the original plan was for this 5-week e-course was I send you a video on Sunday. You work on the video. You work on it with your life guide. And then we meet together on Thursday in a dedicated Facebook group. Well, all last week, God was speaking to me, and he said, scrap it, Rachel. Go live. Every Sunday, I want you to go live. He said, if I taught you anything in 2020, the power of the human connection, these people need you live. They don't need a video delivered to their inbox. There's nothing wrong with that, because I do that all the time. But he was like, go live. You need it just as much as they need you. And so I scrapped the whole thing, and I said, I'm going to go live. And that's exactly what I did. And we begin tonight, Chip Baker, on Sunday night, January 3rd. And even if somebody hears this later on your amazing broadcast and the work that you do in your channel, they can get in a little bit later, because if you can't join us 8 p.m. each Sunday night Eastern, it'll be recorded and you can consume it later on. You'll be able to keep it forever.
That is awesome. So good. So
Thank
good
you.
stuff. I had to, man, I was looking around to get the church fan to wave you off. Hey, woo!
Right?
That's awesome,
but and here's the thing, Chip. I always say this because I'm an inclusive girl, and I recognize not everybody has a relationship with the Lord like I do. So whatever it is you believe, right? I want you to have a relationship with the Lord, but I'm not going to force that on you. And so what I say to people is, whether it's intuition, a hunch, Jesus Christ, the Holy Spirit, whatever it is you believe, like, listen to that still small voice. Because if I had not listened to that still small voice, I would have been marching forward in a way that just didn't feel right. This just felt a little bit off. Now, they were still going to get an amazing course, and it was still well worth it, but I wasn't following my gut, my heart, the Holy Spirit. And so I just want people going into 2020, man, if you get an inkling, if you get a gut check, if you get the still small voice, if you get the Holy Spirit talking to you, telling you to change course, don't be afraid to step out and change course.
Come on. Let's go.
Yeah.
Love it. Well, before we get off, if you don't mind sharing with the audience where they can go follow you and check you out and get the course.
Yeah, absolutely. So I have always said, Chip, some people I think don't get the actual purpose of social media. It's called social for a reason. That means you talk back and forth to people. I know people out there that put things out in the echo chamber and then just never speak back to their people. I've become best friends with some, including you. I've become great friends with you through social media. And so I just follow me on any of my socials, Rachel Baribeau, Baribeau on Twitter, on Instagram, on Facebook. It dropped me a message, but the website and the way you can get the blueprint is if you go to the movement's website, and that's the letter M, changingthenarrative.org. That's changingthenarrative.org. Get programs, blueprint, and boom, there you go. But again, you can drop me a message. I'll send you a link. Any way you contact me, I'll get in touch with you. I'm very quick like that. I'm getting a message back to you because I want, the coolest part of this is I said last night in a video, it's the 47 people that are signed up right now, but it's not the 47 people. It's the 47 people that they'll come in contact with a grocery checker. They'll come in contact with the person that's working at their office. They'll come in contact with their husband or their wife or their children. Or I can't tell you in this movement, in the 4 years I've been doing it, 40 plus schools, Border Patrol, Big 12, Big 10, the amount of people that said, I forgave my deadbeat dad because of you. I mended a relationship because of you. I got into therapy because of you. So when I'm thinking about the impact of this program, it's generational. It's generational, Chip. And as you can tell from my tears, my happy tears, that's everything to me.
That's awesome. Man, so good. Like I said, I just wanted to, when we started, wholeheartedly believe in all you're doing and how you do it. And so wanted to make sure that I gave you opportunity on the Success Chronicles to come through and talk about what it is and just help promote you. I think when you have people that are doing amazing things, you got to rock with them. You got to support them, because that's what it's all about. And so, and like you said, the impact, it's creating an amazing ripple effect.
Chip, I need to introduce you to a gentleman named Adam Weingarten, if you don't know him already. And I was just posting about him last night. And he's one of the winningest coaches in the state of Alabama in high school football. And the other night, there was an article that was written about Coach Loxley at Maryland, a dear friend of mine, about losing his son, Miko, and about his take on mental health. And there was a large part of the article that talked about me because I've worked with Maryland. Well, Coach Weingarten took it out of just like what you've done today, sent a tweet out, and he said to every educator and every leader, you need to read this article and talk and get her program, get her. And what I said in the tweet was, and this is for everybody listening to you and that follows you, you have no idea the power that you have with those fingers on social media. You share Chip's Success Chronicles. You share his work. We share each other's stuff all the time, right? And you have no idea. So that man, which I'll introduce you to him, the other night shares this. One of the winningest coaches in the state of Alabama says to every educator, every leader, you need to read this. You need to get with her. And so you don't know whose life you saved. You don't know whose life you changed. And so I just want to say thank you to your listeners and your followers who love you. Chip is the real deal. He reached out to me and said, let me get you on. Let me promote you. And that's the spirit that we need to carry in 2021, promoting people, helping people, loving people. Man, I have always said to women, to men, there ain't nothing that is meant for you in the world that you got to step on somebody, cut somebody down, kick somebody back, and guarantee, let me best tell you something. If you do, that I'm preaching now, that person,
come on,
that person will end up back in your life where you have to look at them right in the face, right? And so I want you to be a Chip. Yes, I want you to be a Chip in 2021. I want you to be an Adam in 2021. Be a Rachel in 2021, where if you love somebody's stuff, man, share it. You love somebody's stuff, buy their shirt, buy their hats. You got a mom or a pop doing an at-home business, man, you want to support their stuff, or you want to support a corporation you don't know who's running it, man? We have so much power on social media to do good, to encourage, to buy, to support. And yeah, I'm a little bit passionate about that, but I want to brag on you for your kindness today and introduce you to my friend Adam Weingarten.
Thank you. Well, again, hey, thanks so much for always taking the time, your passion, and what you do. And thank you guys for checking out this Hangout and Highlight session. Go show her some love. We'll see you next time. God bless. Go get it.